Hey friend, it is Kate here. Thank you so much for jumping on my channel and joining me here today. Now I have got a short little 15-minute class dedicated to our feet and ankles. This is one that can be really helpful for both stabilizing, balancing, just giving the general health of our feet and our ankles a little love, a little attention. It's also a great one for any of my friends out there that are looking to strengthen the point of their foot. I've had a few requests for that sometimes we want our toes to look so long, so pretty, like a little ballerina, even in our Pilates classes, which I totally get because I was a ballerina. Anywho, we do use a TheraBand in this class, and it's one of the thick ones. You'll definitely need the open ones, not the kind of tubular shape resistance bands, just for the way this class works. So if you got it, grab it. If you don't have one, you can still move through the foot. You just won't get quite the resistance. So no worries either way. I hope you enjoy class, and roll out your mat. Let's get started. We are starting in a seated position, and now I am on the ground because this is just where I film, but you could easily be in a chair on your couch to do this little section right here, so don't feel like you have to be perfectly like I am. What I do want us to do is take our TheraBand and open it up nice and wide, and then cover the tops of your toes and pull it across the ball of your foot. So we don't have it in the arch, it's kind of touching from above the arch and into the toes. And at first, just take a minute and let yourself kind of find a nice, easy seated position where that might be. And you can kind of play. Sometimes when we get here, we realize that we don't have it quite in the right spot and it might flip up like it just did. And that's okay. We're just going to adjust if we need to. We don't have to look perfect in this class whatsoever. Once we find that kind of nice, easy spot, take a minute. We can think about our posture even though this is for our ankles. There's nothing wrong with that. But sit up nice and tall and straight and just reach that foot out. Now again, you don't have to be seated quite like I am. You could take that other leg wherever feels best. You could be in that chair. But from here, I want you to press through and then pull up. Now do you see I'm not actually pointing my toes. I'm just reaching the ball of my foot forward and then I'm pulling it back. Reach the ball of the foot forward and pull it back a couple of times. Now I have some hyperextended knees, which is why my heel is not touching the floor when I flex. Your heel might stay connected to the ground. You don't have to lift the heel up like I am. That's just what my body does. This time I want you to flex the foot and hold it right there. And you can keep the thing apart. I'm going to bring it together just so I can use my other hand to point at something out. But we're going to windshield wiper our ankle back and forth. So it's kind of like I'm trying to reach the foot from one side to the other, from the one side to the other. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And we all have a different range of motion. So yours might move more or less than mine does. That's okay. But just go back and forth a couple of times. And then from here, I want you to take it in and then do that little kind of point flex kind of guy, reaching the ball of your foot forward and circle it around. So we're just doing some little circular motions with our ankle, getting a nice amount of movement. And take it in the other direction, circle it around. Who cares what it looks like? Have you forgotten about your posture? Sit up taller, sit up straighter, you got it. And then pause again. Now from here, I want you to flex that foot, half flex, point the ball of the foot away, but keep flexing the toes. And then again, little windshield wiper right there. That can be really helpful to strengthen those muscles in our ankle like that, having this resistance there. And it can also feel like a nice little stretch. Pull it back again. Reach the ball of the foot forward. Do those little windshield wipers right there, back and forth. Bring it back, pull it back, press it forward. Again, back and forth a little bit. You got this. And out and in, a couple more times. Last one, send it out, little swipe back and forth. Bring it in, and then relax. Shake that little guy out. We'll do the same thing to the other side. So take your TheraBand, open it up, lightly cover the toes. Find that easy seat, whatever works best for you. Feel taller, feel straighter. Take a big inhale, big breath out. And then we'll reach through the foot and then pull it back. And we might notice we have more or less range of motion. Maybe one side feels a little tighter than the other. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Extend and pull. And both sides, they usually are and will be different, and that's okay. We don't have good sides and bad sides. We have good sides and a side of opportunity. One just has more opportunity to grow than the other. That's okay. Oh, and see, mine's kind of pulling off my pinky. Sometimes we just have to adjust. I was kind of lifting it up a little higher. If I keep it down in line with my foot, usually it stays on a little bit better. And like we did on the other side, when you're ready, we're just going to keep that foot nice and flexed. It's almost like I'm trying to pull my toes towards my face, and then I'll windshield wiper my foot in and out. And I gathered it together in one hand on the other side, but I'm going to keep it apart on this side. It doesn't really matter, though. You can sit and hold your little TheraBand however feels best for you, and it's totally fine. And then reach it inward and then circle it out and away. Kind of circling around in that ankle. And you might get a few little pops there. I'm not a physician, I'm not a physical therapist, but I've been told by many, as long as pops don't hurt, they're perfectly fine. If there is some pain, then you'd want to talk to someone. And then go the other direction. I would be in a world of trouble if popping was bad, because my body pops all over the place from years of work, let me tell you. In the morning, it's like I'm a bowl of Rice Krispie treats. Circle that guy around. And then let's go ahead and do that little funny flex point where we're pointing the majority of our foot, just flexing our toes, and we'll do that little windshield wiper side to side right here. Excellent job. Back and forth. You got it. And then pull it in, really big flex, and then work through that foot, kind of windshield wiper it in and out again. And both sides can be so different. It's okay if this side we just, feel a little awkward doing it. That's okay. And we don't always have to be super graceful in here. Trust me, I am not graceful. Pull it back. One more time. Press through. Keep sitting up taller, sitting up straighter. I was starting to slouch there a little bit too myself, so don't you worry if you were. And then let it go. Take that band off. You can just set it on your lap. Lean back if you're on the ground or if you're in a chair. And then from here, let's just flex and point our toes. So it's a really small movement, and that's okay. But think of pulling up, press it down. Pulling up, press it down. Pulling up, press it down. Then reverse. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And you can do both at the same time. But what I don't want to happen is those ankles to move outwards. I want them to go straight up, straight down. So it's like little string is pulling them straight up, straight down. If you feel like they're winging off to the side, we need to pause and go a little slower. And then from here, we're going to come up to standing. Take your TheraBand with you. Take that TheraBand, and we want to step on it with our right foot. And you can kind of grip on it. Maybe sometimes, I know some people like to hold the very end and kind of wrap their hands around. Others just prefer to hold in the middle, and it's fine no matter what. But we're going to try and stand on one side. Now, if we do not have the balance today to stand without holding on to something, you can simply hold on with one hand and take your other hand onto a wall, onto a chair, a countertop. It's okay. Don't feel like you're not going to get it if you don't balance in the center of the room. But from here, all we're going to do is stand tall on that left side. Imagine I'm lifting your left ear up a little higher, broaden across your chest. And from here, we just have a light amount of tension on that band. You're going to take a big inhale. As you exhale, float your knee up. I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see a little bit better right here. I didn't just like bend the knee, pulling it back. It's like I tried to pick up the knee in front of my hip. Now you might get here and think, oh, you know what? This is not enough support for me. I need to wrap up so there's more tension there, and that's okay if you do. It shouldn't be super challenging to hold our leg up here. That's not really the point right now. Shoulders back, top of the head nice and high, pull that belly button in. Like we did on the floor, I want you to press through the foot and then lift up. Press through the foot, lift up. If your leg moves a little bit, it's certainly okay. There's no worry there. If you lose the TheraBand at some point, that's okay too. Don't worry about it. No worries. 2 more, press through. Bring it back. Last one, press through. Hold it right there. Now this time I want you to take a big inhale. As you exhale, I want you to flex your foot and straighten your leg, reaching your heel away. So I'm not bringing it straight down. It's at that diagonal angle. And then inhale, carry my leg up. Press down and away. Carry it right back up. 3 more, down and away. Lift it on up. 2 more. lift it up. Last one, hold it out there. Now from here again, let's lightly press through the TheraBand, and your toes might touch the ground. If they're a little higher, it's okay too. And then flex, press through, and then flex. Again, if we lose that TheraBand, who cares? No one is watching you. You're doing fabulous no matter what. 2 more. Away and back. Last one. Down and up. Take a breath. And let it go. Shake anything out you need to. We're going to switch to the other side. So step that foot in. Now, at first, we're just standing tall and straight. I like to imagine that I'm holding your right ear, the side that the band is not in, and I'm pulling up through that right side. As you feel ready, rock your weight to the right side and start to lift the left leg up to our little tabletop or chair. Now, I really don't want that knee up too high. I want it in line with our hips so we can keep it even. If you feel like you're hiking one side of your body up, just readjust and then grow longer through the right side. And like we did on the other side, from here we're just going to kind of flex and point a little bit. Move through that ankle, finding a little mobility. You're doing great. No worries. And then from here, keep the foot flexed. Take a big inhale. Exhale, straighten the legs, send the heel down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, straighten the legs, send it down. Inhale, lift it up. 3 more, straighten and reach. Bring it on up. 2 more, straighten and reach. Bring it on up. Last one, reach and stay. Stand taller, stand straighter, low belly up and in. Hold it right there, and then we're going to lightly point. Maybe that foot touches, and then flex. Press through, and then flex. Again, through, and then flex. 2 more, through, and flex. Last one, down and up. Take a great big breath. Set that foot down. Oh, maybe you fell over like I did. It's okay if we did. Relax, wiggle, shake it out. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me a little bit better, but I do want us to step our right foot inside again. And this time I really do want it to cover those toes a little bit more than we have. And we are in fact going to gather it in our opposite hand. So my right leg is inside the band, and I'm going to hold it with my left hand. Right hand can be on your hip, or it could even be on a countertop, on a chair, on the wall, whatever you need to do. But from here, can we point that toe down in front of us? And I really mean point through the whole of the foot. Now, this is a little bit funny, and we want to go slow and steady so we're not yanking through that ankle, but I want you to sickle your foot in. Oh my goodness, if you're a ballerina, you will hate that right now, but it's good to strengthen our ankle in all directions and then point the toe forward. So sickling means we're taking those toes in towards the center of our body and then swimming them back out. So we're getting maybe a little stretch along that outside edge of the ankle and then pulling it back. Again, if you are a ballerina at all, that will feel truly terrible to do, and I totally know what you mean. If you ever do any aerial work as a ballerina, you will feel horrified that you have to sickle your toes all the time. It's still something that I find hard to do. A couple more times, pull it in, reach it out. Last one, pull it in, reach it out, hold it right there. Now, opposite direction, lightly out and in. And you might not have a lot of range of motion trying to move those toes outward, trying to really kind of banana our foot off to the side. So it's almost like I'm just trying to point my toes away from the middle of my body and then back to the middle. Away, back to center. Away, back to center. 2 more, out and in. Last one, out and in. Let that go. Shake, wiggle it out. You're doing great. Other side we go. Step that foot into the TheraBand. Gather it in the other hand. You might notice that you need more or less tension on one side. That's totally fine. Other hand on your hip, wherever we need it. And then when you're ready, stand tall, stand straight. If you're feeling tension in your neck because you're holding on so tight to that TheraBand, maybe try wrapping up, and that's going to relieve some of that intent to like super duper grip. Point that toe straight out in front of you, and then we're going to sickle, reach it out. Sickle, back to center. I know that feels so weird, but it's good to strengthen our ankle in all directions. We don't want to just use it in one way. Our whole body needs to be nice and strong. In and out. A couple more times. Last one. In and out. In and out. Now it's that funny one where we're trying to reach our toe away, bring it back to center. And it's a very small range of motion for me. You might have more or less. And if your leg doesn't, or your foot doesn't move at all, but you're just simply thinking about turning on those muscles, trying to reach the toes out, that's okay too. No biggie. 2 more. Out and in. Out and in. Now go ahead and relax that TheraBand off to the side. Just set it down. I'm going to turn this way. I want you to lightly bend your knees. Make sure your shoulders stay over your hips and we're not pitching forward. And then from here, just lift up one foot. Really think of pressing the sole of the foot down or the ball of the foot down while you lift that heel up. Take a great big breath. Set it down. Again, lift the heel up, finding a little stretch at the bottom of that foot, and then press it down. Again, lift it up, press it down. Last one, lift it up and stay. Now from here, I want you to point the toes for real. You're going to point so hard that your leg is going to pop off the ground, or your foot is. We're going to point, set it down, point, set it down. You're activating the whole foot as you kind of press through the ground to lift up. For 3 and 2. It's like a little kick forward. Last one. Down. Set that foot on the ground. Wiggle anything out you need to. Shoulders back, low belly up and in. Lift that foot. Really press down through the foot or through the toes and almost the ball of the foot, trying to lift that heel up, finding a great big stretch to the bottom, and then set the heel down. Peel it up, and then set it down. A couple of times. Up and down. Up and down. Last one, up, pause. You know what we're about to do. We're going to kind of point or whoop that leg up. Sometimes just a sound is better than a phrase, right? Whoop, lift that leg up, set it down. Lift those toes up, set it down. You got it. For 3 and 2. Last one. Set the foot down, set both heels down, bring yourself up. Take a moment and just notice how your balance is feeling, how your ankles are feeling. Those feet, are they a little tired from doing that? Sometimes just a little bit of work can make a huge difference. So I certainly hope you enjoyed our nice little ankle focused and foot focused class. For those of you trying to strengthen your point, trying to make those lovely little feet look a little longer, this is a great one for that. So I certainly hope you enjoyed class. Give yourself on the pat on the back, and I can't wait to see you again.